Welcome to Bible in a Year with Scott Purcell. I'm so glad you're joining me. This is a daily reading of portions of the Bible, following a plan that will include the entire Bible in a year. And now, let's open the book and begin our readings. This is the reading for day 36. If your reading is aligned with the calendar year, this is for February 5th. The Old Testament reading is from Job 35, Job 36, and Job 37. Job 35. Moreover, Elihu spoke up and said, "Do you think this is justice when you say, 'I am right before God'? If you ask what it profits you, how do I benefit by refraining from my sin? I myself will give answer to you and to your friends with you. Look at the heavens and see, and observe the clouds that are higher than you. If you have sinned, what do you accomplish against him? And if your transgressions are multiplied, what do you do to him? If you are righteous, what do you give to him, or what does he receive from your hand? Your wickedness affects a person like yourself, and your righteousness affects humans. Because of the multitude of oppressions they cry out, they cry for help because of the arm of the mighty. But no one says, 'Where is God my Maker, who gives songs in the night, who teaches us more than the animals of the earth, and makes us wiser than the birds of the heavens?' There they cry out, but he does not answer because of the pride of evildoers. Surely God does not hear an empty plea, and Shaddai does not regard it. How much less when you say that you do not see him, that the case is before him and you are waiting for him. But now, because his anger does not punish, and he does not acknowledge the transgression at all, therefore Job opens his mouth in empty talk. Without knowledge he multiplies words." Job 36. Then Elihu continued and said, "Bear with me a little longer, and I will explain, for I still have something to say on God's behalf. I will bring my knowledge from far away, and I will ascribe righteousness to my Maker, for truly my words are not falsehood. One who has perfect knowledge is with you. Look, God is mighty, but does not despise anyone. He is mighty and good in understanding. He does not keep the wicked alive, but grants justice to the afflicted. He does not withdraw his eyes from the righteous, but he sets them forever with kings on the throne, and they are exalted. And if they are tied up with fetters, if they are caught in the cords of misery, then he declares their work to them, and their transgressions, that they are behaving arrogantly. So he opens their ear to the discipline, and he commands that they return from mischief. If they listen and serve him, they complete their days in prosperity and their years in pleasantness. But if they do not listen, they perish by the sword, and they pass away without knowledge. And the godless of heart cherish anger. They do not cry for help when he binds them. They die in their youth, and their life ends among the male shrine prostitutes. He delivers the afflicted by his misery, and he opens their ears by the adversity. And what's more, he allured you out of distress into a broad place, where in place of it was no constraint, and what was set on your table is full of fatness. But you are obsessed with the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold of you. Yes, it is wrath, so that it will not incite you into mockery. And do not let the ransom's greatness turn you aside. Will your cry for help sustain you without distress, or all the efforts of your strength? You must not long for the night to cut off people in their place. Take care, you must not turn to mischief, for because of this you have been tried by misery. Look, God is exalted in his power. Who is a teacher like him? Who has prescribed his way for him? Or who says, 'You have done wrong'? Remember that you should extol his work, of which people have sung. All human beings have looked on it. Everyone watches from afar. Look, God is exalted, and we do not know him. The number of his years is unsearchable. Indeed, he draws up the drops of water. He distills the rain into its mist, which the clouds pour down. They shower abundantly on human beings. Moreover, can anyone understand the spreading of clouds, the thundering of his dwelling place? Look, he scatters his lightning around him, and he covers the roots of the sea. Indeed, he judges people by them. He gives food in abundance. He covers his hands with lightning, and he commands it the place at which to strike. His thundering tells about him. The livestock also tell concerning what rises. Job 37. About this also my heart trembles, and it leaps from its place. Listen carefully to his voice's thunder, and the rumbling that goes out from his mouth. He lets it loose under all the heavens, and his lightning to the earth's corners. After it, his voice roars. It thunders with his majestic voice, and he does not restrain it when his voice is heard. God thunders with his voice in marvelous ways. He does great things, and we cannot comprehend. For to the snow, he says, fall on the earth, and the shower of rain, his heavy shower of rain. He stops all human beings from working, so that everyone whom he has made may know it. Then the animal goes into its den, and it remains in its den. The storm wind comes from its chamber, and cold from the north wind. By God's breath, ice is given, and the broad waters are frozen. Also he loads down thick clouds with moisture. His lightning scatters the clouds, and they turn around by his guidance to accomplish all that he has commanded them on the face of the habitable world. Whether as correction, or for his land, or as loyal love, he lets it happen. Hear this, Job. Stand still and consider carefully God's wondrous works. Do you know how God commands them, and how he causes his clouds' lightning to shine? Do you know about the hovering of the clouds, the marvelous works of the one with perfect knowledge? You whose garments are hot when the earth is being still because of the south wind, with him can you spread out the skies, hard as a molten mirror? Teach us what we should say to him. We cannot draw up our case because of the presence of darkness. Should he be told that I want to speak? Or did a man say that he would be communicated with? So then, they do not look at the light when it is bright in the skies, when the wind has passed and has cleansed them. From the north comes gold. Awesome majesty is around God. As for Shaddai, we cannot attain him. He is exalted in power. He does not oppress justice and abundant righteousness. Therefore people revered him. He does not regard any who think that they are wise. The New Testament reading is from Matthew 24, verses 1 through 31. Matthew 24:1. And as Jesus went out of the temple courts, he was going along, and his disciples came up to point out to him the buildings of the temple. And he answered and said to them, Do you not see all these things? Truly I say to you, not one stone will be left here on another stone that will not be thrown down. And as he was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came up to him privately, saying, Tell us, when will these things happen? And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? And Jesus answered and said to them, Watch out that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and they will deceive many. And you are going to hear about wars and rumors of wars. See to it that you are not alarmed, for this must happen, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. But all these things are the beginning of birth pains. Then they will hand you over to persecution and will kill you, and you will be hated by all the nations because of my name. And then many will be led into sin and will betray one another and will hate one another. And many false prophets will appear and will deceive many. And because lawlessness will increase, the love of many will grow cold. But the one who endures to the end, this person will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be proclaimed in the whole inhabited earth for a testimony to all the nations, and then the end will come. So when you see the abomination of desolation spoken about by the prophet Daniel standing in the holy place, let the one who reads understand. Then those in Judea must flee to the mountains. The one who is on his housetop must not come down to take things out of his house, and the one who is in the field must not turn back to pick up his cloak. And woe to those who are pregnant, and to those who are nursing their babies in those days. But pray that your flight may not happen in winter or on a Sabbath, for at that time there will be great tribulation, such as has not happened from the beginning of the world until now, nor ever will happen. And unless those days had been shortened, no human being would be saved. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. At that time, if anyone should say to you, Behold, here is the Christ, or Here he is, do not believe him. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear, and will produce great signs and wonders in order to deceive, if possible, even the elect. Behold, I have told you ahead of time. Therefore, if they say to you, Behold, he is in the wilderness, do not go out. Or, Behold, he is in the inner rooms, do not believe it. For just as the lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, so the coming of the Son of Man will be. Wherever the corpse is, there the vultures will gather. And immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven will be shaken. And then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man arriving on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send out his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect together from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other end of it. The wisdom literature reading is from Proverbs chapter 4, verses 1 through 9. Children, listen to the instruction of a father, and be attentive in order to know insight. For I have given you good instruction. Do not forsake my teaching. When I was a son to my father, tender and alone before my mother, he taught me and said to me, May your heart hold fast to my words. Guard my commandments and live. Get wisdom and insight. Do not forget and do not turn from the sayings of my mouth. Do not forsake her, then she will guard you. Love her, and she will keep you. The beginning of wisdom, get wisdom. With all that is in your possession, gain insight. Cherish her, and she will exalt you. She will honor you if you embrace her. She will give you a garland for your head. She shall bestow a crown of glory upon you. This concludes the reading for day 36. Thank you for listening. These daily readings are made possible by your generous support of the Global Outreach Ministry of Scott Purcell. To partner with us and enable this work and others like it, please visit huttobible.com/give and select Go Pastor Support from the fund list. You can also sign up for ministry updates at scott-purcell.epistle.org/subscribe. Both of those links can be found in the podcast description. Thank you for helping us share God's Word.